Welcome to Minneapolis Sound Radio. I am Tanya Giddens, and this is the Artist of the Month podcast for October. My guest tonight is a musician, multi-instrumentalist, producer, arranger, songwriter. He does it all. Now, I will say that when I found out who the Artist of the Month was, I was a little shocked. And I had to go back and Google because I said Patrick Adams. I'm like, he passed a couple of years ago. But alas, this is another Patrick Adams, and he is our Artist of the Month, and he is a phenomenal musician. So, welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Now, as I stated a couple of seconds ago, I was really looking like Patrick Adams, like this, are you sure? But for those who don't know, Patrick Adams it was a wonderful musician. A lot of his work was in the late 70s to 80s, and he put out a lot of bangers. He put out a lot of bangers that people don't know. You've heard the songs, but you didn't know it was him.
Right.
And I'm sure that's the kind of longevity that you are aiming for because I've listened to your songs and I was digging them. I was digging them.
I appreciate that. Absolutely. It's so funny. He reached out to me a few years ago.
Did he?
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, I like your work. Congratulations. He says, just so you know, we share the same name. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And he's like, you might want to think about changing that so there's no confusion. I was
Oh,
like,
really?
oh, okay. Well, appreciate that. Thank you so much. And he wished me well and stuff. So we had a good conversation.
Have you come across people who have said, "Oh, Patrick Adams, that's not the same one"? Like,
A
have
couple
you
of
come across
times,
that?
yep. A couple of times, yes.
Mm,
But
that's
we
life.
it's life. I mean,
Yeah.
I talked to a really good friend of mine who was from New York as well.
Hmm.
Someone that I did a whole lot of work with, told him the whole scenario. And I was like, so what do you think? Do you think I should change my name? He's like, nah, man, don't do that. Don't do that. Do what you do.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't change my name
Uh,
either.
he
But
didn't
let's
say it
talk.
that nicely, but yeah.
I can imagine what he said because it sounds probably something that I would have said as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about your beginnings. Now, you grew up in Minneapolis,
Yes.
and your father wanted you to pursue music and athletics. So, how did music and sports feed into each other in your household?
So in the household, it was funny. My dad really didn't want me to play football.
Hmm.
He had a brother in his child when they were children, and a brother passed away. He played football. He got injured, got gangrene, and died
Mm.
from it. And
Oh,
so he was really against me playing football.
right.
Um, and football was my favorite sport. And I played several sports, but yeah, football was my favorite, and it was always a struggle until I got to high school, and he was my biggest supporter. So
Of course. Of course.
um, I remember, and my old football coach would say this years later. Pat would go through the games, he'd be doing okay, and then when he seen his dad pulling up at the stadium at the field, he started showing off then. So. Yeah, he wound up showing up to all my games, supported the music by letting me bang the drums as loud as I want and play the music and never said anything about it, never said, turn that stuff down. So,
Hmm.
yeah,
Are there moments from your childhood that still show up in the way you perform and write?
absolutely. So, growing up,
Mhm.
I worked with, I had some cousins that were older than me. They're all Prince's age. They
Mhm.
all grew up with Prince. We all went to the same junior high school and high school. I just went years later.
All right.
But they were all musicians, and they were performing in different bands and stuff. And so I always wanted to be like one of them. You know, you're the little kid sitting in the room, like listening to everything, and you're trying to emulate all the stuff. So yeah, I remember all of those days. I remember the early sessions when they allowed me to come and play on sessions with them. And first thing they would tell me is, "Don't mess up, boy. We got one take. Don't mess up." So I keep that same mentality all the way up till now. Like, just go ahead and knock it out.
One take. That's all you need.
That's well, do a little more now, but the mindset, yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Now, one thing I love about Minneapolis is that there is so much untapped talent in Minneapolis. Did you feel that Minneapolis sound around you growing up? And did you push toward beyond any specific scene in the Minneapolis during the Minneapolis Sound?
Yeah, so the when I was growing up, there was bands everywhere you turned around. There was different events, different festivals, and even on my block, there was three different bands on my block as I
Mm,
was a little kid. So I was always around music in that aspect. So being surrounded by the what became the Minneapolis sound was just second nature. Um, in regards to just music in general, my influences go all the way back to James Brown, Sly Stone, Earth, Wind and Fire, Parliament, Carpenters,
mm,
James Taylor, Michael Jackson. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. Being from Minneapolis, the thing about us, we really didn't have black radio when we were growing up.
right,
The black
right.
radio we had was like started off with 5 watts, then it went to 10 watts. So you'd have to sit there and adjust your antenna to just get the
Mm.
signal. So we had to listen to all kinds of different music, and so I think that's what kind of shaped the Minneapolis sound because it was just so we didn't have a choice.
Who in the Minneapolis music circle did you watch or did you learn from? Who really influenced your musicianship growing up?
Ooh, um, outside of my cousins, uh, it would be it would be Prince.
Hmm.
You know, anytime his stuff came on the radios, like when you're traveling, there was just a sense of pride. Like I lived in LA for when I graduated from high school, I moved out to LA for a while and
Hmm.
you know, you'd go to the clubs and stuff and anytime the Prince or Time would come on the radio, it was like, yeah, you know, that's us. That's our stuff, you know. So
Do you
we
remember the first song that you heard
from
from Prince or
Prince,
anyone in the Minneapolis sound?
yeah. Um his his whole first album, Before
Mm,
You, that whole album was to me it was a masterpiece. And the fact that he played all of the instruments, you know, that did it right there. You know, just listening to that. So, and then watching him evolve from an artist standpoint, it was good to see that.
right. And speaking of which, you've worked with artists inside the Minneapolis sound, such as, Morris Day and Larry Graham, and of course, George Clinton. Now, those collaborations, how did they begin? And how did you preserve your vision while honoring your voice, your own personal voice?
So most of that stuff was already written.
Hmm.
With the George Clinton thing, I was a part of his his band during the Graffiti Bridge era.
Oh,
So during that filming, I was a part of his band during that. got a chance to sit and watch him record, which was like the most phenomenal thing for me because he was rapping and he was freestyling.
Mm,
And I'm sitting in there and I'm watching him, number one, freestyle, how good he was at it. But then he'd have the engineer stop, he'd listen, they say, okay, pick me up from here. And he would pick up right where he left off, just freestyling. Like
brilliant.
it was brilliant. I was like, oh man, I got a long ways to go. But yeah, just being a part of that kind of stuff, working with Morris, when I worked with Morris, um, I used to write for Morris,
Hmm.
and just that whole experience, just, the whole process is you're thinking like him. What would he say?
Right.
What type of music would he want? And that was a good experience. And then being able to work with him in the studio was fun. And Larry Graham is just a whole, that's like one of my idols. So um, that opportunity came about, just a blessing. He heard the song and, you know, he actually worked on two songs
Hmm.
and came in and did his stuff. And it's so funny because I did the parts first. I'm trying to, do the Larry
Yeah.
Graham, yeah, do those parts. When he did it, it was, it was so magical. It was like, I could never hit it like that.
Ah,
His tone, it was a great experience. Like, I was so blessed to be able to have worked with so many different, Jesse Johnson, same thing. Like,
right.
you know, these guys they're so amazing. And to be able to sit and watch their process, how they do what they do. For
Hmm.
me, I'm a student. Like I just love to sit and learn and like, okay, I can take that, I can do something with that, and I can use that like in my process. Or like if you're working with another producer, you pick up on how they go about their craft.
Right.
Because when you're working with different artists, everybody's different, and you try to, for me, um, I don't go into it with a particular mindset. It's really
Mm,
about the artist
right.
and what their vision is, and if they don't have a vision, at least learning so much about them that you can help shape that vision for the record that you're working on.
Yeah, and I think that that is very it's important. It's extremely important to do when it comes
Yeah.
to figuring out, the artist and what they would do and how you would go interpreting how they would perform it, how they would emote
Yes.
specific songs. And that's interesting. I was listening to the song People
Yes.
with Larry Graham and Wilma Ann. Now,
Yes.
how did that song come out? Because it's a funky track.
Yeah. I mean, I was I was in this in different phases of my writing. I really like to dive into history of music
Hmm.
and just studying how Sly and the Family Stone did what they did.
Right.
Um,
And there's a song, not to cut you off, I
yeah,
was
go ahead.
listening to a song earlier today, and the way you were phrasing it, I said, he actually reminds me of Sly.
Yeah, was that Smile?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
that 3 o'clock in the morning after you recorded a whole bunch of other stuff, and
Hmm.
that 3 o'clock in the morning voice.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
Sounding
that's what
like
that was.
Pace. I can't sing no more.
Yeah, you get to sounding like this. You get to singing like this, and I'm like, yeah, wait a minute, I think I like this. I'm gonna go ahead and write this song.
Yeah, it's a
Up
great song. It's a
again.
great song. Yeah, it's a great song.
Thank you.
And I, in listening to Smile and a couple of other tracks, I noticed that a lot of, well, not a lot, but your songs focus more on um not necessarily survival, but uplifting.
Yes.
And not necessarily because some songwriters, all they write about is love. They write about sex. They write about, reefer. I'm old school. But you write a lot about
Yes.
uplifting people, uplifting, things in your life. That an essential part of your being, uplifting, as opposed to writing songs? Because anybody really, I can write a song about love,
Yeah.
but it's important. How important is it to you to write songs that uplift and inspire people?
I mean, it's really important for me. I look at life and the different iterations of my life
Mm-hmm.
and wherever I'm at, I look at that as a part of my ministry.
Mm,
And so whether I'm working with youth or whatever, in that particular moment, that is my ministry for that moment.
right.
And so to be able to inspire, uplift is really important to me. Um, I write songs about love, and I do stuff, write songs about having fun and stuff as well. But like you said, everybody can do that. Um, but if I can affect someone's day by them turning on one of these songs that you're referring to, then I've done my job for that day,
Mhm.
so that's very important for me.
Is there a song that you listen to that totally inspired you? I know there are plenty, but what song in particular inspired you?
From what aspect? As a
Just
writer
in
or
general,
in life in
overall.
general?
Yeah.
Ooh, there's so many. Wow, that's a good question. Um, I would say, I would say going back to listening to a lot of the Sly and the Family Stone stuff,
Hmm.
um, the message behind that, people uniting. I thought that was inspirational. I think listening to one of Prince's songs, Money Doesn't Matter Tonight.
Oh my gosh, that is top 10 of all his songs for me.
Me too.
Oh my gosh,
Like
just the story.
the story. See,
Yes,
I love storytellers.
yes.
Love storytellers. So I grew up on listening to the storytellers, the James Taylors, the Jim Croces,
Hmm.
Stevie Wonder, just
Definitely.
all the different storytellers, because you can close your eyes and it takes you on a journey, and
Yes.
that's what really reaches me. To be able to tell a story, give you that beginning, that middle, and that ending,
Hmm.
um, is I love that.
Yes, I agree with you with that. Um, top three storytellers for you.
Ooh, I I would say for me, I would say Stevie.
Okay.
I would say James Taylor.
Okay.
And I think Prince is a tremendous storyteller. Um, when he really wants to lock in on that.
Right. Yeah.
Um, so off the top, I would go with those three.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Now, walk us through, and the viewers and the listeners, walk us through the production and arrangement process for a song like Thinking About You. Like, what do you focus on first? Melody, groove, or lyric?
Thinking about you. Wow. Um, I can tell you a story about thinking about you.
Well, do tell.
Yes. So at this particular point in my life, I was in a relationship,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
but it wasn't completely solidified
Mm-hmm.
because it just wasn't all the way sitting right.
Okay.
So I so happened to be I was in New York, um, working in a studio in New York,
Okay.
and I'm recording this song. So this particular friend of mine was back here in Minnesota, and I couldn't get a hold of him. It's at night.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get a hold of him. So I'm writing this song, um, and at night when I'm recording like in New York or LA, there'll be a house engineer. They'll show me the setup, and then once they show me the setup, I'll go ahead and say, okay, you can leave now, and then I'll record throughout the night. So that particular song, I put all the music down um, after I wrote the lyrics.
Okay.
Um, so the process of that song in particular was the chord progression and then the vocal melody. And then when I originally recorded it, I wanted to record it as like a what do they used to call that? It was a show. Where it's like an open mic show where it would just be the vocalist, guitar player, and the drummer. Just imagine the drummer just doing that. And
Mm-hmm.
so I recorded it as an acoustic version first,
Okay.
and had hand claps at the end and all of that in the vamp part. And so that was the process for that song. But when I finished that song at 6 o'clock in the morning, I finally heard back from this individual. And needless to say, they was on some other stuff. That was the
Mm-hmm.
last time that I talked to him. But I took the pain that I was feeling, and that's how I wrote that song. And that's how I recorded that song. So that process, like I said, was the chord progression, the vocal melody, and then the lyrics came, and then I put the rest of the music to it.
Okay.
But it's not that way all the time. It just kind
Right.
of depends on, what the inspiration is. If you were to ask me about, let's say, if I ruled the world,
Mm-hmm.
so that inspiration came from the George Floyd situation, which was in my neighborhood or the neighborhood I grew up in.
Okay.
Um, the invasion over in Europe when Russia invaded the Ukraine. Um, for me, it was just like, okay, I need to talk about this. And so same thing, chord progression. And now I'm writing this song as if like from a child perspective. If I
Okay.
ruled the world, this da 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 da. Da. If I
Right.
ruled the world, and then that's just kind of how that kind of evolved. Um, I did the piano and did the block chords, um, and then I did the vocal right away, and then went into the studio and recorded that, um, and had someone come in and play the piano, and then we did the strings and all of that, and that's how that came about.
I love to find out about the process of how a song is created. I think it kind of, for me, it gives more of an understanding
Yes.
behind the song. And I just love to hear that. Um, with the songs that you've done, as far as technology, what techniques do you prefer from the old days? And what new tools are like it for you?
So in the old days, what I prefer about that time
Hmm.
was recording on 2-inch tape, just for the warmth.
Hmm.
Uh, the digital process squashes the sound
Okay.
that the analog tape uh, gives it depth, gives it warmth.
Hmm.
Um, Love that process. I did love the process of mixing and doing remixes where there'd be all the cutting and the splicing, and
Right,
you
right.
walk in there and there's these strips of tapes hanging all over the place from the different sections of the song. That was just fun from just how you put that together. Um, the new process, you can you can take your time and work through different parts um, before you ever even go into a studio to do the final recording. I mean,
Mm.
I do all of my stuff at my place anyways, unless I'm doing like live horns or live
Right.
drums. Um, uh, Everything else I can do in my own spot. I can do all my vocals and stuff in my spot.
Are there certain types of equipment, like for instance, mics or specific synths that you are your babies, are your favorites to
Yeah.
use?
So I have one specific mic that I use for all of
Mhm.
my vocals. I was working with an engineer several years ago, and he said, "This is the mic that you need. You don't need to purchase another mic.
Mm.
Um, Use this mic, and that's the only one that you need for your voice." So I stick with that mic.
Okay. You want to share what type of mic that is?
It's so funny because you know, it's a Shure SM7B, like
Okay.
$500 mic, you know, and I've had people that have worked on many Grammy records and stuff. They'll hear some of my stuff. I'm like, man, what mic are you using? Are you using one of the mics? Because I'll see them at where I work at, and they'll be like, are you using any of these here? Nah, man, I'm using them. Oh, what are you running it through? I'm not running it through. Oh man, you got a hell of an ear. Oh my God, But that's the same mic that Michael Jackson used when he recorded the Thriller album.
Oh, well then you're in good company.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know that when I was told
Mhm.
until other folks was telling me about it. So, but yeah, that's the one that I use for my voice. For other people, I let them choose, what they want to use for their voice.
Nice, nice. I want to learn more about that, but let's go on because we're about to run out of time because I have so many more questions and things I want to ask you about. Speaking of having a good ear, let's talk about what's on your hat. Ear
Oh,
slap.
ear
Let's talk
slap.
about that.
Okay.
Explain to everyone what the ear slap is.
So Ear Slap is an instrumental EP that I did about a year ago.
Hmm.
It's my first stab at doing instrumentals. And one of the most joyous experiences that I've done because I was stepping out of my normal comfort zone
Hmm.
and just had a blast doing it. And so ear slap, the term ear slap is this amazing music slapping you inside your ear. That's really what it breaks down to.
Okay. All right. The the stank face, the turkey
Yes,
neck head bob. What's
yes.
the story? I need to hear this because I'm just like, okay, this should be interesting.
I think that is just, I don't know what other people were doing across the rest of the country, but I know growing up, that that right there was, when that was going on, you knew you was hitting on something.
There you go. There you go. Well, I still do it today. If matter of fact, I did it today. I was listening to this young vocalist cover Shaka Khan's Through the Fire. I don't know if
Oh,
you've seen it on Instagram, but this girl can sing. And I was like, oh,
oh,
I wanted to throw a
nice.
shoe at her, but she was bad. So yeah, the stank face, yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
But the turkey neck head bob.
turkey neck head bob. Yeah, all of that is when that groove is that wicked,
Hmm.
that's it just automatically happens. Just automatically happens.
It's a feeling. It's a feeling.
It's a feel. It's a vibe. It's a feel.
Do you remember a performance that changed what you thought about doing live shows? A night where you had to read the room and readjust in the middle of your set.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Um, yeah. What for me, it was more about like tempo, the
Mm-hmm.
tempo of the music.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you're recording it, it was feeling a certain way, but it didn't translate live
Mm.
because it was just too slow. And so in the middle of the set, I got with the drummer and it's like, hey, we got to pick this up. So anything, if it's at 98, we want that to be at 104, or we
Mm-hmm.
want it to be at 106. And so just in the middle of that, and it just changed the whole dynamics of it. But how we got to that was we went and we went down and we did a blues song first.
Okay.
And then in the middle of the solo, that's when we communicated, okay, when we come back and we're doing the more up-tempo stuff, we wanna pick up the tempo on that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
What's your favorite song to perform live?
people,
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
people is I love to end the show with that.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see that. It kind of makes you go out feeling good and gives people that, no pun intended, that high.
that yes,
I
yeah.
totally get it. What are some of the rituals that you do before you walk on stage?
Pray,
Mm,
like pray, like really. For me, my prayer is, it's pretty basic. The root of the prayer is take all of me out of this and make this about you.
mm,
So when they see me, they don't see me, they see you.
mm.
And let
Love
me
that.
be a shining vessel for you.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
So take all of that self pride and all of it, take all of that away because it's not about me. This is about you, God, and let your glory be present.
Amen. Amen. Okay, we got a little deep. Okay,
Uh,
let's lighten it up a bit
I'm
because
sorry.
no, you are just fine. You are just fine. I was about to pass the collection plate, honey. So let's do this. I'm going to give you a question, and I want you to answer with the first selection that comes to your mind. I like to say this or that, or is or ain't. You
Yes.
make the choice.
All
All
right.
right. First thing, don't hesitate. Vinyl or streaming?
Vinyl.
Regina Bell or Anita Baker?
Anita Baker.
Anita Baker or Mickey Howard?
Anita Baker.
Oh, okay. Mary J. Blige or Beyonce?
Ooh, Mary J. My kids are gonna kill me, but they need to hear this. I like to mess with them.
Okay, I need for you to repeat that because it kind of froze. Just repeat what you said.
I said my kids is gonna kill me because they are the biggest Beyonce fans, and I love B. I love B, but
Hmm.
Mary strikes right here. Mary
Ah,
gets Mary gets you.
all right. Friday or Coming to America?
Friday,
Okay. 90s R&B slow jams or 2000s hip hop?
'90s R&B slow jams.
777-9311 or Pandemonium?
777.
Okay, all right. There's some that it might say okay. Soul Train line or Electric Slide line at the cookout?
Oh, Soul Train line.
We have to have a conversation about that. I have a
You-
story about that, but we'll talk about that
uh,
later.
uh,
We'll definitely talk about that later. People or smile?
Smile.
Okay. The Kirk Franklin version. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, smile. Can I just kind of expound on that for a second?
Absolutely.
Okay, so smile is really about is like life story. So it was about
Hmm.
my mom and dad, and just she passed when I was 6. So
Okay.
that whole thing, that just get up again and smile, was really about it starts off talking about him,
Hmm.
and how he had to get up and smile again and raise this child. And so then it evolves from that to just whoever. male, female,
Right.
pick yourself up, and so that's why.
Okay. It's a beautiful song. I listened to it today and I was like, wow, this is deep. It's a beautiful song. And
Thank
y'all
you.
need to check that out on
Yeah,
iTunes, I still say iTunes, Apple Music, I'm old school,
yeah.
Spotify, SoundCloud, you name it. Now, let's talk about your record company, your production company. What made you want to start your own label? Raja Records and Entertainment Group, and of course, Groove Productions.
Yep. So, for years, everything was just Groove Productions, my production company.
Mhm.
Um, Programs that I did with different schools, everything was under Groove Productions, was that for many years. The whole Raja record thing came, I was approached by someone to start my own label, and they were talking about um, a particular company for distribution for it. And so as I was going through that whole process and the negotiation and all of that, I was like, okay, I don't want to use Groove Productions. I want to create a name. And the Raja is really my kids' initials.
Okay.
And so it's like, okay, y'all, how do we want to spell it? Do we start with the J first? Do we start with the R? Do we start with the A? And so we settled on Raja. And
Okay.
so that's how that started.
Okay.
And then I got to the point where it's like, okay, I'm not really liking what was being offered. So let's
Hmm.
just do it on our own. So that's how that came about.
Okay. How do you spot new talent and how do you nurture it?
Um, Spotting new talent is not hard because you can see when someone really has it like right away.
Hmm.
Um, if it's someone that has potential and you can help nurture that, you can spot that pretty easily. It's talent, but it's really more drive and then
Hmm.
personality. Like, who are you as a person? Do you even know who you are as a person? And if you don't know, that's okay. But are you willing
Right.
to become what you need to become? Everybody doesn't have that drive to really be successful at this thing. And so, based on conversations and then just watching how people move, it has a lot more to do with that than the actual talent. Because
Right.
a lot of folks have talent.
But some have the it.
Yeah, some have the it, and then a lot of people will have talent, but they don't have the
That
commitment
part.
that it takes.
Yes.
And with anything that you do in life, you have to be committed and you have to understand what real commitment really means. I mean, that's whether it's music, athletics, marriage, relationships. Like,
Indeed.
you can't play with it. Like, you gotta really be about it.
Absolutely. How do you balance running your label and still having creative time for your own music?
Um, Instead of 24 hours in a day, I work with 36.
Listen, I've been there. I have been there. How do you navigate that though? Because you have to think about your business, then you have to think about your family. I know that it can be a little challenging.
Yeah, it's challenging,
I mean, I'm
But
sure there are times you just want to sit down and have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and just
yeah,
don't and just tune everyone else out. But
and I do that. And so
okay,
that's a part of the balance. Like you have to know when to turn it off so you can recharge your own battery.
absolutely.
Um, and then just keeping in perspective what is really important. And so, you know, I'm in a space now where um, I'm able to figure out what is really important to me. And, you know, what is really important to me, number one is family. Well, number one is my relationship with God and family. And, you know, just keeping everything in perspective. And, you know, you spend years on that hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, and trying to make things happen. But it happens in his time. And so
Yeah.
you just have to really understand that and you push, but then also understand that there are other things that really matter and uh, that those two elements are the most important things for me, and everything else falls into place.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're about to wrap this up. Is there anything that you would like to mention to the audience that you're working on before we wrap this up?
Yes, the next single is completed. Sounds
Okay.
amazing. I was fortunate enough to have another guest musician on it,
Okay.
and sounds amazing. It's been mastered. Release date will be in November, so
Okay,
really
good.
excited about that.
I can't
Um,
wait to hear it.
yeah, I can't wait for you to hear it. Um, so we're excited about that. Have an EP coming out shortly after that.
Hmm.
Um, Prior to the EP coming out, around Christmas time, I'll release one of my gospel songs. So I'm
Nice.
super excited about that.
Nice.
Um, so there's a lot going on. Um, you know, everybody can find the music and merch and everything on my website, Patrick Adams Music with a Z,
Hmm.
patrickadamsmusic.com. You know, all the music's available on all the streaming platforms. And just real excited about that. Excited about working with other artists and, you know, just continuing to, you know, hone my craft.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you for being the Minneapolis Sound Radio's Artist of the Month for October. I look forward to seeing what it is that you have cooked up. I'm excited about the gospel song. I'm excited about your upcoming song. So this is going to be really good. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I appreciate you. This has been amazing. I've had a great time. The time has gone by way too fast.
It really has. It
And
really has.
yeah, so thank you so much for having me on. And I'm excited about all of this and looking forward to the near future.
Absolutely. And thank you all for tuning in to Minneapolis Sound Radio. I am Tanya Giddens, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon. And again, Patrick Adams Music with a Z, like Liza, for the old heads that know, .com. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Until the next time, have a good one.
Peace.
Deuces.
Deuces.